the dollar. Oh, wow, the dollar took off on the ECB today. ECB talks. Okay, so the dollar is interesting. So we do have clear bullish up move happening here, right? There's your reversal and a bullish push higher. This is very bullish. So if, okay, wait a second. Let's go to a weekly. So you can see on the weekly, right? Bullishness of the US dollar is still intact, and we're still above my heuristic trend line. So that gives me a bit of a bearish lean to the S&P 500, because if the dollar is looking this bullish, and I don't see why we can't get a move up to at least this area, 110 area, stuff like that. Well, I'll show you why on the lower time frames in a second. But I don't see why we couldn't get a move up there. And if we get a move up there, wouldn't the S&P move down? I think that, you know, since everything priced in dollars, that would make sense. Let's go to let's look at a 12-hour chart. 8-hour better. Yeah, so here's the US dollar, and here's kind of your ugly W pattern, right? Something like that. And we could say that this is our W. Where's that? It's our W like that. And that's the next target for US dollar, 106. Now, if I extend it a bit more and a little bit riskier, that maximum point, 106.6. Okay, that might be our high target for the US dollar. And if we head up there, maybe then in the S&P, we also head to new lows. And on a weekly chart, we start to put in divergences on the RSI. This. And then on the weekly for S&P 500, the RSI looks like this. Right now it's like that, it's like this, and then it's like this. And this is our divergence. Same like with the dollar, the divergence will be like that, and then it'll eventually roll over. Right, so price goes there, we play around up here, and then we roll over, and S&P can rally. Something that, I mean, that's possible, right? I'm not saying that is definitely going to happen, but that's something that's definitely possible. And a scenario I'm looking at, let me go 4-hour. Yeah, so clear uptrend here in the US dollar. I don't see why this can't continue higher. It looks very bullish to me. Let me see a 1-hour chart. Yeah, look at that breakout. See combo 13 count coming in here though. This is bearish. Do you see how we compressed here? Boom, breakout with a head fake to the downside. That's what always happens. You get like this kind of compression scenario where it'll go like this, 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 then this, and it'll, you know, sometimes it'll not go lower, and sometimes it'll go higher like that. And you keep getting compression like this, and then if it's going to go to the upside, you're going to move like this first, and then you go to the upside. Or if it's going to go to the downside, you're going to move like this, and then it'll go down. You see it more often in crypto than you do in the stock market and legacy markets, I should say, but you also see it in legacy markets. So if you ever see the market coiling like this, be very careful about this type of move coming. And oftentimes what I like to do is I just set an alert, or I'll say, okay, this is the range. Let me get rid of some stuff here so you guys can see this better. I'll show you how I trade this. How to trade this. So I would highs, and this is the lows. Go usually to this previous one. Yeah, right there. And I would take a look at the range and see where it stops between this high and this is my low. Sometimes I would go here, you know, reverse it. Because if I'm looking to buy in this case, right, I want my those on the other side. So for here, I saw that most of the time it stopped at the 50%. So then I would set buys lower. I would do 61.8 and a 78.6. Those would be my two buys, and my stop would be 88.6 or 1. Sometimes 88.6, sometimes 1. Sometimes I do 2 stops, 1 stop here, 1 second stop here. If that's what if I expect a move to the upside, and it's the inverse or the reverse if I expect to move to the downside. That's kind of how a way that I try to play it to give me some pricing points. You can also look at like the range. So for example, the weekly low here was right here. So that would have been a nice buy point. I also saw my trend heuristic was right here. So I would have set it, around that level. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. Those are a couple of examples of how you might catch this kind of move. Not that I recommend catching moves like this. You kind of almost have to actively watch it and then see it roll over and then see the reversal come in. Like, okay, it's putting in a bit of a W here. Okay, I can go long. Or something along those lines. You can see the final W bottom was put in here. And then the breakout happened right here at 102.4. Looks like it's consolidating up here. Getting ready to roll over, actually. Makes sense that it's consolidating because an 8 and 9 is on the chart. Let me tell you guys, if you don't have 7, 8, and 9 on your chart, you really should add it. It is probably the most helpful indicator I have in my entire toolbox. Tom DeMark sequential is used by some major traders that I like to follow on Twitter, and I see a lot of them posting it and using it. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe it's not going to work soon, but for now, I feel it works as a significant warning system, especially on shorter term and even longer term trades. Okay, you can see how 7, 8 came in here, also came in here. Both great times to take profits. It's a great take profit signaling system. Usually, depending on the time frame I'm trading, especially if I'm trading a lower time frame, like if I'm trading 5, 15-minute time frame, stuff like that, I will take profits. If a 7, 8, 9 comes in, I will usually take at least 50% profit.